Welcome back to School Night. Our interviews are presented by Mitsubishi. I am here with Morgan St. Jean.
Hi.
Hello. You are fierce.
Oh, thank you so
Yes.
much. Fake it till you make it, you know?
Yes, yes. I mean, the jacket, too, it was like half and half. It was like, I don't know if I want to be white today or black today.
Right?
I was
Well, the
feeling
thought,
it.
too, was, you know, the EP is called Rich Man. And
Yes.
so I was like, I wanted something a little more masculine.
Got you. So you had
Hence
the power blazer.
And
Yeah.
then my boys in my band were wearing shirts that say feminist.
Yeah.
Because I was like, guys can be feminists and should be feminists.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
I love that idea. And I really love like your debut EP. Congrats on it, by the
Thank
way.
you
It just
so
dropped,
much.
right?
Yes.
How does it feel to have it out in the world? I know it's like
Oh.
the songs are done and it's like, I just want to share it with people, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been such a journey, and I'm just so excited that it's out. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of it. It feels so me, which is really important to me, that it feels authentic. And so yeah, I'm excited.
Authenticity is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So explain the title a little bit, Rich Man. I love it's based on a quote, right?
Yes. So it's actually based on a Cher quote.
A Cher quote. Are you a Cher fan?
Absolutely.
All I can think of when I think of Cher is that amazing like black costume she had at one award show.
iconic.
She's ahead of her
Yes.
time too,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And I think the coolest thing about Cher is she's such a feminist. Honestly, before it was like cool to be a feminist,
Yeah,
you know?
big time.
And she has a quote where she says, you know, my mother told me to settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man.
Yes.
And I was like, that has to be a song. I was surprised it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I decided to call my mixtape that because to me it really just embodied the whole energy that I wanted to portray. You know, I think, like I said in the show, it doesn't matter how much money you make or where you come from or what you do or what gender you are. I think being a rich man is kind of a mindset and a state of being. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to call it that.
It kind of reminds me, I don't know if I made up this quote or I got it from somewhere, but it's like, walk into the building like you own it, walk out like you just sold it.
Oh my God, I love that. That's a new song. I might have to write that.
So would you say that you are at the state where you feel like a rich man?
Some days.
Yeah.
And I think part of it for me is, I think being confident and being a rich man also means accepting the days where you don't feel that way, and you have to fake it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the EP is like really talking about all different parts of being a woman, and you know, the struggles, the good, the bad, the ugly, the crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you say about being a woman too. Well, first of all, it's sort of Galentine's Day, we're saying, because it's all
Galentine's.
fierce, wonderful, amazing women on the night tonight. And I think, I mean, I could tell by how you carry yourself and also your songs and your lyrics that being a powerful woman who empowers other women seems like it's something that's important to you. Is that right?
Very much so, yeah.
And have you had situations with like fans where they reach out and they say that, like female fans, that what you're doing is empowering them in some way?
Yeah, actually, this whole mixtape started with my song Not All Men, which was a song that I posted to TikTok, you know, pretty spontaneously. I was really just moved to write it. It happened very quickly, and it blew up on TikTok. And since then, there's been this kind of movement that, like, all of us girls have been coming together to create, kind of being like, you can't take our power from us anymore.
Can't take it!
And to be really honest about the types of things that we have to experience every day that, you know, a lot of people don't really understand.
And it still happens all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. That part. So, I mean, it's an important thing for you then as an artist to address some of those issues. I mean, I know you get into Roe versus Wade and like you talk about Me Too in one of the songs, and how important is that to you? To have that in your songs?
It's everything to me. I think, what is the point of having a voice and having a platform if you're not going to use it to say something?
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't speak on everything, but I can speak on this. I know what it's like to be a woman. I know what my friends go through. I know what I go through. And so if I can help one person feel like they're not alone, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, big time. Are there any women that inspire you?
Ooh, I read a lot of Maya Angelou. Actually, when I was going through a breakup, my mom bought me her book. I think it was called like Letters to My Daughter or something. And it was a bunch of short stories. And yeah, I just think she's like amazing.
Yeah, she is amazing. She's one of those people that like the way she talks, if I could just have an ounce of her clarity, every single word that comes out is, it's like I would have to sit down and write it out, and it just flows out of her. Her and James Baldwin are like my speaking voice heroes.
It's amazing to have so much, like, like you said, clarity and wisdom, and then to be able to put it into words for other people to digest. Oh my gosh.
And for it's easily accessible to others too. It never feels like, you know, they're up here.
Totally,
right? It's
I
like
love
they're
that.
your sister or your brother. Let's get into, I don't want to miss the chat questions, which I have a tendency to do. It's the AMA question. One is from Kavasock. Is wondering, how did you get over any stage fright or nervousness?
I didn't.
Can't tell.
Fake it till you make it. Honestly, that is my number one. You know, people always say, actually, J.O. here was very helpful because I was backstage being like, I'm so nervous. And he reminded me that nerves and excitement are pretty much the same feeling. You know, they both kind of feel like butterflies in your stomach. So, you know, I'm just grateful to be able to make music and to play it for people.
Yeah, thanks for that one, J.O.
Yeah.
He's over on the sidelines giving one of these. Let's get it. It's your boy. Let's get into the one from Skittles.
I love Skittles.
Yeah, do you have a favorite flavor?
I don't know what flavor they are, but the purple ones.
Oh, the purple ones.
I live for them.
Maybe
it's
that's
my
great.
favorite candy right now.
Nice. I don't know. Well, Skittles, you're her favorite candy, and Skittles wants to know, what were some successes or failure that you remember and molded you to the kind of artist you are today?
Oh, wow. I mean, the music industry is full of failure and rejection, and I think you just have to kind of be super resilient and tough.
Yeah.
So that's sort of more of like a daily thing, you know? But a success that really made me feel confident was, I mean, actually Not All Men going viral was a big one for me because it really reminded me that when you're vulnerable and when you're honest, people connect to it.
Yeah.
And it reminded me that like using music as a way to say something important is powerful and it's worth doing. So that was something that's been really amazing for me.
I have a question for you, and I think this is like something that happens to a lot of artists, but I think to anybody that's on social media, the more you're out there, the more attention that you get, and you said that it can be tough. And what are like some of the ways that you're able to just kind of like tune out any negativity that comes your way the more that you put yourself out there?
It's hard. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's hard. When you read a mean comment, it's very difficult to not just immediately go into your head and be like, is this true? Is there something wrong with me? I mean, I've had people call me evil for speaking out about women's rights, a monster. Like, it goes on, you know? But I think at the end of the day, like, my fans and the people who listen to my music, the people who are in my DMs every day, we are just so strong, like together, and they just lift me up and they make me feel so confident, and they're the ones that like keep me going. You know?
100%.
And then you have to remind yourself too, like, who's really sitting in their basement writing a negative comment? Like, who has the time for that?
That's the thing.
I didn't have time, you know?
Yeah. I kind of got to a point where I was like, anything that someone has negative to say is meaningless. Because if you had something constructive to say, that's one thing. But negativity has absolutely no purpose. Like, what is that achieving?
It's almost always a projection of their own insecurities.
Their own insecurities.
So I try
all
to
the time.
remind myself of that, you know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a muscle that you have to build up over time.
Absolutely.
But keep doing it because we need you to be out there and being an example of that. Yeah. And a funny thing that we found out about you is that you got to sing for the Pope when you were 11.
I did.
What was that all about?
That was crazy. So I actually grew up going to Catholic school very briefly. It was not a long-lasting thing for me. But that was really my first kind of foray into music.
Yeah.
And I sang for the school choir. And a couple days into rehearsal, my director pulled me aside and he was like, hey, can I speak to your mom after rehearsal?
Wow.
And I thought I was getting kicked out. I was like, what did I do?
They found out about that thing. You almost like gave it up.
And he said to my mom, you know, your daughter has a lot of potential. I'd like to train her privately.
Wow.
And my mom was like, she sings Britney Spears karaoke. Like, well, what are you talking about? And yeah, with that choir, we ended up traveling all around Rome. And I got to sing for the Pope. And I mean, crazy.
So that was that like the first time that you officially realized in your family that you could sing, or were you singing before that?
I was always singing before that.
Yeah.
My godparents actually bought me a karaoke machine when I was like 5, and it was just in my room, and I would not shut up, and my parents were like really over it. And then, but yeah, that was in about 2nd grade, and that was the first time that I took it seriously and started really like training the craft. And for me, that was when I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
And is the goal to have your own songs in karaoke for people?
Hell yeah. I've never even thought about that, but yes.
Right? That's kind of like a goal.
I like that.
Okay, let's get to another AMA. Have you ever considered another art form before getting into music?
I am
That's
super
from Dexl.
not artistic except for with like words. like poetry, things like that, but like visual arts, I'm so bad. Horrible.
I would say though, fashion sense is
you
an
so
art.
much.
Yeah, how you
I
present
love
yourself.
fashion.
Yeah,
I love fashion. That would definitely be something that I want to like explore more of in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you. Oh my God.
It's going good so far, sister. Let's get to the last question for you, our Mitsubishi Drive Your Ambition question of the night. What is one of your goals for 2022?
To tour.
To tour.
I really want to tour. I really want to play more shows.
That's what Cece said before,
really?
too. Yeah, yeah.
I think particularly given the fact that we couldn't for so long with COVID.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like amazing to get to be back in front of people and playing live shows again. Have to kind of get my sea legs back, you know.
Yeah. Any particular places you'd like to go?
Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Wherever they'll take
Sign me up. I'll hop in the van. I'll be in the trunk.
Cool. Well, we're going to be keeping our ears and
Thank
our
you.
eyes peeled. I don't know if that's a saying for your tour dates. And I'm sure you're going to be doing it really soon.
Manifesting it.
Yes. MSJ.
Yes,
Thank you, sister.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
You're amazing.